We should start, as we've got a lot of work to do. So, you're warmly welcome to our workshop. We come from Helsinki University Language Center. My name is Leena Karlsson, and this is my colleague, Felicity Kjisik. And we are going to, at the beginning, run you through certain things that it's good for you to know about the ARMS program, our research and our pedagogical development. And we hope to move on to the workshop part pretty fast. These are the things we want to say a few words about. We want to talk about the ARMS program, autonomous learning modules that we've been running at Helsinki University for quite a number of years, and the role of counselling in particular in the program. We want to then move on to talk about research and pedagogical development in ARMS, which is, they've both been part and parcel since the very beginning. And the current project on counselling development is what we want to then carry on and have you experience a workshop with us. There we will present some video extracts and then have you discuss these extracts that are from our counselling meetings.
Okay, so just to explain a little bit the context, obviously, some of you might have heard about it. We've been running ARMS since 1996, so we've been in autonomy, as it were, for quite a long time. And we can't go into it in too much detail today because that would take a whole other talk. But basically, when a student comes on an autonomous learning module, ARMS, they start off with 2 learner awareness sessions, 2 fairly long sessions at the beginning of the program, when we talk about their own learning experiences, the whole process of language learning, and so on. Part of that is talking about learning histories, so we begin by discussing learning histories, their own experiences, their backgrounds, their feelings, and then they continue that by writing their learning histories. They can write it in the form of a free-form text, or they can write it in a software program that we've made called Kaleidoscope, which is actually free software. Anyone can access it, you can go and look at it yourselves. It's meant to guide students through thinking about, looking at their own selves as learners, their histories, their needs, their skills. And you'll find that the address of that and more information about ARMS on the other side of the bibliography page that you have. The whole point of ARMS is that the students themselves develop personally meaningful goals and that they also plan their own learning programs. So each student has an individual learning program. We have something like 200 students on the program at any one time. They start off in groups of 20 at these learner awareness sessions, but after the learner awareness sessions, after the learner awareness sessions, they moved on to their own programs, and they're supported by various things. A very important part of the program is that they write personal logs, learning logs or diaries, the form of which they can choose themselves. And we focus a lot in the first sessions and in encouraging to write and to reflect as much as possible on their learning and on the program. They're guided also, they're supported throughout the program by what we call skills support groups, which they're free to join. These cover a whole range of areas through writing, kinds of writing, academic writing, all sorts of different kinds of writing, speaking, drama, all sorts of different support groups which they can choose to join if they want to. So the backbone then also of the program is our counselling. Every student has 3 15-minute counselling meetings during the module, one term. One at the beginning where we focus on the whole idea, the concept of autonomy, and their personal plan. They then come in the middle of the module to talk about their progress basically, and how they've been reflecting on their learning, how it's been going, and then they continue and come at the end of the program for a general discussion about their portfolio, their learning log, their whole feelings about how the program has gone, and normally at that stage they finish the program. So we're going to be focusing on this counselling section today. So I'll pass you back to Leena.
Okay. And I'm going to just say a few words about research and pedagogical development, which we feel are kind of braided in nature, so totally intertwined. And in that kind of philosophy, we look upon inquiry as being at the heart of pedagogy for autonomy. The main goal in the program is to promote learner autonomy, so that's always in our minds whatever we do. This kind of an inquiry then has a basis in experience and autobiography. We work with whole human beings, feeling human beings, so that is very important for us, and that makes us fully aware of a strong basis that is needed in research ethics. So our research, our teaching needs to be ethically sustainable, if nothing else. It also needs to be, we feel, locally relevant and collective. We've done a lot of collaborative projects, and if you look at the bibliography, there's quite a long list of the research that we've done. So both individual efforts and then collaborative projects. So if you're interested, most of them are fairly easily available. In the work that we do and in the work that the learners do, we feel that self-reflexivity should always be the guiding principle. So learners learning, teachers teaching, counselors counselling, and researchers researching, with this sort of curiousness to explore into their own motivations, beliefs, why, what the self is understanding, what the self is sort of how the self is affecting the knowledge that is being built. The current project on language counselling is very much work in progress, and it's been me and Fliss this time who started the project, and the aim was to create a video and guidelines for professional sharing in arms and outside arms at the language centre, maybe even outside Finland, and it was the idea was that would help new counsellors coming into the programme, because we're very adamant about the fact that counselling is not teaching. So there's plenty of work and plenty of searching to be done before a teacher becomes a counsellor. But more and more we started realising that we need to do something else as well, not only to produce a video that can be shown to the counsellors. We started seeing how important it would be for even old counsellors, old hands, to record their own counselling. And because that would be a way for them to question their habitual actions, because you need to be aware of things changing. You need to be, aware of this kind of uniqueness of the situation. So, you don't learn it and then keep doing it. You need to be watching yourself. You need to be watching your words and actions. And now, what we're doing at the moment is we are exploring the guidelines that we're going to present to you at the end of the workshop with our colleagues, and we are discussing our practice of counselling and looking at these guidelines in what we call peer group mentoring sessions, and that's something that we find really a useful tool for teacher development. There's a book on the list list of references that's been written by teacher educators in Finland called Peer Group Mentoring Something. So, and it's some of you might be interested in getting hold of the book and seeing what it means, because our mentoring, this idea of mentoring, fits, very well with this idea of teacher autonomy that we have been always promoting. That, it's not me mentoring you, but it is everybody mentoring everybody else. And it's really a sort of wonderful way of, maybe bringing in research ideas, but at least keeping people with this kind of exploratory idea and encouraging them to continue with that. Then I think it's Fliss's turn.
So what we'd like you to do really is experience what we experienced. So we're going to show you a couple of counselling extracts. And embarrassingly our own, because we've gone through various levels of embarrassment at looking at our own, encouraging other people to look at their own and think about them, and eventually you get over the embarrassment of what you say and what you do. But we'd like you to then also see, because we felt it's not fair that we would bring our other counsellor videos and show them. Why don't we show ourselves with all our warts and coughs and all those things? So we've got two 10-minute videos. The first one is Ilona and myself. Ilona's, well, it'll explain at the beginning. She's half Russian, Finnish student. And you're going to remember this is only extracts. They do have these 3 15-minute sessions, and you're only seeing 10 minutes. So we've picked out various bits from, in this case, from the first and the final counselling, bits that we've come to feel are sort of more significant. Secondly, you'll see Leena then with Saya, who's the self-designated special learner. We thought that was also a good example for you to see. So what we'd like you to do is view the two videos. You've got a handout, worksheet for the handout, I mean a worksheet for the workshop, with the things that we'd like you to focus on. So we'd like you to focus on these issues. How do you see the balance of power or control, bearing in mind that we're trying very much to maintain the concepts of autonomy, teacher autonomy and learner autonomy. Listening, which is always a key issue in counselling. Appreciation of diversity, which is becoming more and more of an issue in most educational institutions. Motivating learners, and then the aspect of storytelling. What we're going to ask you to do is look at the videos, firstly just writing whatever notes you want to make on the paper. Then we'll give you a few minutes to discuss with a pair what you've written down, what you thought, and then we'll put you together more in groups to then think what have you all seen, what you thought was interesting in the whole thing, and we'll show you then some of the things that we've come up with. But we don't want to show that until you've talked about it a little bit yourselves. So let's go on then with, I hope this works, with the first video. Just check that all the sound is working.
experiences in which you were having two coaches to talk about. Yes, yes, and it was like good. Except that I think that most people, in the end, actually quite like talking about their own background and their own experiences. So I think it's nice to have a reason to do that.
Yeah, why the topic is interesting.
Yes, that's right. Definitely, yeah. Good. So what about as a learner? Do you feel you're a different person?
I noticed that when I'm on this course,
Yes.
I do this more active way. I concentrate on what I'm doing with English.
Good. So you're more conscious and aware. Yes.
And so when I listen, for example, we probably talked about it before when I was moving, I learned to really listen.
Yes, yes. It's funny how people say that because you would think you've been listening before, but it's not the same, is it?
You actually listen just goes very low.
Exactly. So you don't focus on what you don't know.
Yeah, so you actually learn much
You
more
really can.
when you listen really.
Yes, definitely. Now, some people have said to me that they feel that most of their English from TV and so on, but somehow they're doing something a bit different. They're deliberately doing that. They're setting out to do that. So it's a bit different from the rest of us who just, just watching it and you're just getting just pleasure more and more. So you tend to just read it sometimes.
Yeah.
So it does change. So that's a really good sign. So, and I think my feeling is that once you start doing that, you don't stop and there's more sense. You just got into the habit of noticing things.
Yeah, I feel that this has been a good push for me to activate my English learning.
Good.
Because that's what I did right now. And this has been great for me because I like books.
Yeah, you should. Yes, that's good.
That keeps me motivated that way. I can see my
Progress, yeah.
progress.
Okay, we'll go on to the second one.
Ei ole I read 2 articles.
Okay. In your own field.
Yes. Yes. Have the teachers make a difference?
Okay.
And I was scraps and master of the year.
Okay.
Co-teaching in inclusive classroom.
about what you saw and maybe focus on these particular aspects. Did you notice anything happening as regards these 5 areas? So a few minutes thinking about that, and then we'll move on to another stage. So maybe just 5 minutes discussing what you saw, what you think about these particular aspects.
you at this point and ask you to maybe go forward in little groups, unless you want to carry on with your partner. But anyway, what I'd like you to now talk about is both the videos plus then the guidelines. The handout that you see here is coming, and Chris is giving it out. I'd like you to discuss these. It's difficult. I mean, we've called them criteria, we've called them guidelines. We haven't really decided what to call them, but these ideas are what makes good counselling, elements of good counselling. And as you can see in these kind of big bubbles, we've got the areas, the elements that you have been now observing, trying to observe in the videos. And as you can see, listening is one of them. So, that is a crucial element of good counselling. And it would be nice if you could talk about that in the light of the videos, or maybe, your own experiences of advising counselling. It would also be very nice if you touched upon this idea of autonomy. As you can see, there's this one bubble saying encouraging developing learners' sense of autonomy. We said at the beginning that the main goal of the program is to promote learner autonomy, so that is a crucial element here. Motivating, definitely linked to this sense of autonomy. The whole program started with this worry about student motivation, so that is a very, very important element. There's sharing control / balance of power. Again, an issue related to learner autonomy. So, I mean, some of them are kind of overlapping, so you might do this differently. I mean, that we are very aware of. And then appreciating diversity. I mean, the second student in particular, I hope made you think of, university students. And we are very much, we strongly believe that, equality is what we should have at our universities. I mean, people with a different learning background, maybe with a different learning profile, should have the chance of, managing at the university. So this appreciating diversity, everybody as a unique human being, is very important. So maybe that would lead to you to discuss certain things. And storytelling, we've done a lot of narrative research. And we are great believers in storytelling, in narrative pedagogy. So I don't know how much evidence there was in these extracts of that. But anyway, that's an interesting element, and maybe you have something to share with your colleagues about your experiences in storytelling. Okay, so now you're free to again discuss without me interrupting you again. Okay. that, because it would be then a way of developing this further. Maybe you saw something in the guidelines that needs to go, or something that is missing, whatever. So we appreciate any comments and reactions. And you can also write to us, so that would be really, really valuable. So thank you for being here and working hard.
Thank you.
Did I? No, I think it fell off.
Oh, may I ask a question?